Good morning, students. Today we shall discuss the next topic, that is the demand function and its determinants. Okay, demand function and its determinants. Now, demand function means the functional relationship that exists between demand of a commodity and its various determinants. I repeat, the functional relationship that exists between the demand of a commodity and its various determinants, that is called as your demand function. You very well know that demand of a commodity not only depend upon the price level, but it also depend upon a series of other factors. These are called the determinants of demand, right? So these determinants, the functional relationship that exists between the demand as well as its determinants is called the demand function. Okay? Now we all know that demand of a commodity depend upon its price level, the income of the consumer, the taste preference of the consumers, the population of the country, the income distribution, the climatic change and all this. So all these are the determinants of demand, right? So you see here, demand function and its determinants. If I say demand of good X, okay, demand of good X, dx is equal to function of Px, means price of X. PR means price of related goods. Then Y means income of the consumer. Then T is test, P is population, and also YD is income distribution in the country. So all these factors taken together, they determine the demand of a commodity in the market. So these are called the determinants of demand. Now here, demand is a dependent variable and all these are the independent variables. So demand depends upon all these. That means demand is dependent, and whether it is the price of the good, whether price of related goods, whether income level, whether taste, whether population or income distribution, all these factors, they are independent variables. Now in the law of demand, what we did? In law of demand we say other things remaining constant. When there is a fall in price, quantity demanded expands. And when there is a rise in price, quantity demanded contracts. Here the other things remaining constant means if we keep all other things constant except price, then here price and demand, they are the only two variables. There is only one variable, that is price, which influence the demand, and all other factors we keep them as constant. But normally it doesn't happen. Normally what happens, demand is influenced, is determined by number of factors, and these factors taken together with demand, we call it as demand function, right? So now let us discuss the determinants of demand function. What are the determinants? I said that demand and its determinants, their functional relationship is called the demand function. Then what are the determinants first? Let's see. Number one determinant is price of the commodity. Price of the commodity, concerned commodity, is the first determinant of the demand. According to law of demand, what do you say? That when price of a commodity falls, quantity demanded rises, and price rises, quantity demanded falls. So your price and demand, they are inversely related, oppositely related. That is, when one rises, the other one falls. Therefore, demand first depend upon the first variable, first determinant of demand is none else than the price of the commodity. Okay. This is the law of demand. We have already read it in previous semesters. Second is price of related goods. Price of related goods very well affect, very well influence the demand function. That is, related good means it may be either substitute goods or it may be either complementary goods. Take the example of substitute goods. Tea and coffee are substitute goods. Coca-Cola and Thumbs Up are substitute goods. So what happens in this case? When price of Coca-Cola rises, demand for Thumbs Up also rises. So in this case, in case of substitute goods, they are directly related. They are directly proportional to each other. That is, when the price of Coca-Cola will rise, people will shift from Coca-Cola to Thumbs Up. So the demand for Thumbs Up will also rise. If price of Coca-Cola will fall, demand of Thumbs Up will also fall. Because people from Thumbs Up will now switch over to drink Coca-Cola. Therefore here, in case of substitute goods, price and demand in case of substitute goods, they are very much directly proportional, directly related. They move in the same direction. They have a positive slope. Next is complementary good. Now, complementary good is also one type of related good. In case of complementary good are those goods which are jointly consumed for satisfaction of a particular demand. Right? So let's say petrol and scooter, let's say pen and ink, let's say bullet and gun. These are all complementary goods. We consume them jointly to satisfy one demand. So in case of if price of petrol rises, demand for motorcycle, demand for scooty will fall, because if petrol price rises, scooty demand will fall because they are complementary goods. Here, both things, unless and until you bring both things together, you can't satisfy that demand. Therefore, when price of one good rises, automatically the other goods demand will fall. Okay, so their relationship is inverse or opposite. They move in the opposite direction. Third is income of the consumer. Now the third determinant which determines the demand of a commodity is very well the income of the consumer. That is, higher the income level, higher the income of a consumer, higher is his consumption, higher is his demand, and lower his income, lower is the demand. That is, when income rises, the demand also rises, and when income falls, demand will also is bound to fall with fall in income. Now here we come across two goods, normal goods and inferior goods. In case of normal goods, when income rises, demand also rises, and when income falls, demand also falls. Normal goods means standardized products, goods of high quality. In this case, when our income rises, we certainly go to consume more. So here the relationship is very much direct. They are directly proportional. But in case of inferior goods, the income effect is negative. That is, when your income rises, you demand less of inferior goods. Because inferior goods are somehow low quality products. So when your income rises to a certain extent, naturally you will be pushed to consume less of such goods, and you will be compelled, you will be forced to purchase high quality goods. So therefore, with rise in income, inferior goods demand will fall. With fall in income, inferior goods demand will rise. Next is taste and preference. Very much it depends upon, it affects the demand, because we demand such goods according to our taste, our preference, our style, and taste also changes the demand. And this change in taste is also affected by advertisements, is also affected by demonstration effect. We see others doing that, we also consume the same. It is also affected by what do you say, change of age, change of time. If you are a young girl or boy, your demand is something different. And when your age changes, when you become old, naturally your time passes and your demand will be something different. Your taste, your fashion, your style, your technique, your design, so everything will change over time. Therefore, the demand will also change. Fifth is population. The total demand of a country, in a country, very much depend upon its human resource, its population of the country. If the population of the country is as large as India, around 140 crores, then naturally our total demand will be much more higher. But if you talk of a small country where population is less than 50 lakhs or less than 1 crore, their total demand will be less. So with rise in population, the total demand will also rise. With fall in population, demand will also fall. Therefore, another determinant of demand is the population. Then distribution of income. As you see, I have written here, distribution of income. Now, income distribution is a major factor, is a major determinant which determines the demand structure of the country. Distribution of demand means, distribution of income means distribution of the national income, national wealth of the country among its citizens, or distribution of the national income among all factors of production is called distribution of income distribution. So if the income distribution is correctly made, if it is not skewedly distributed, then every individual of the country will have sufficient purchasing power, and as a result of which the aggregate demand will rise. But if the distribution of income is skewedly made, is asymmetrically made, then a few of the people of the country will enjoy the major income of the country, and majority of the people will have very little income. So therefore, the aggregate demand in that case will be much less. So aggregate demand will be higher or lower. That depend upon the distribution of income in the country. Okay. Now the last is future expectations. Future expectations. Now future expectation means expectation of the consumers about the change in price of the commodity in future. Now if you are a consumer, if you want to demand something today and you know that, you come to know that in future the price is going to rise, then what we will do? We will purchase more at a higher price also. Let's say the price of oil, edible oil is rising nowadays. You know that today the price has increased by 10 rupees and you expect that tomorrow it will rise by 20 rupees. So what you will do? You will go to the market, you will purchase more today because tomorrow the price will be still higher. So if in future it is expected that prices is going to rise, so at a more price also more will be demanded. On the contrary, if in the future you expect that the price of a commodity is going to fall in future, then in that case you are going to consume or demand even less at a low price. Let's say the prices of the vegetables, you expect that after 2-3 days the prices of vegetables will come down. In that case what you will do? Even if the price is low today, you will consume, you will demand less today, and you will wait for 2-3 more days so that let the price come down again and you will purchase more. So if we expect in future a change in price, that also affect the demand of the consumer today. Okay, so these are the 7 determinants of demand function. They are the price of the commodity, price of the related goods, substitute related good means substitute goods or complementary goods, then income of the consumer in case of normal goods, in case of inferior goods, then taste and preference of the consumers, population of the country, distribution of income in the country, and lastly its future expectations. Okay, so this is all about your demand function and its determinants. I hope you are all watching my videos from the beginning to the end, but I find that you are very much casual and careless about watching my videos, and I find only few of you are only watching my videos. So dear students, Microeconomics Core 5, if you want to read, it is only me who will teach you, and it is this platform through which you are going to teach. So choice is yours. If you don't want to listen, you don't want to see my videos, you don't want to learn, it's all right. Choice is yours. If you are really serious, I will see that within one day at least all of you will watch this video. Okay? তাহলে আজকে এতই থাও, next time we'll discuss the next topic. Thank you, have a nice day.